can figure it out. Anyway, this will be Chancey versus Phoenix on Heavy Rain, and as soon as I get my Twitch title updated, I will head over into that game. Yeah, that last game was a very exciting game. 2 racks leading into a pretty decent macro game. Rather than ending it for either side, actually doing about the right amount of damage, but if anything, actually ending up a little bit better off for our Zerg player, which still didn't matter all that much once the macro game really got going. But that was a very fun game to watch, for me at least. Both being a Zerg player and so really appreciating the good play of Achilles, but also rooting for my teammate Hantipen. So that was a pretty great game. But that said, we're going to set into set 5 now. As soon as it gets loaded, as I said, that's Chancey versus Phoenix here on Heavy Rain. This is a Silver League match. Chancey playing Terran for Vortex, and Phoenix playing as a Zerg for Outset. Without further ado, going to head right into that game. As soon as I can get my computer to load properly. There we go. So, spawning here in the lower right, we have playing for Outset Gaming, our green Zerg, Phoenix. And spawning in the upper left, playing for Vortex eSports, this will be Chancey as our yellow Terran. Got the good manner coming down from our players, always good to see. At first Overlord heading out, right across the map as usual. Now for those of you who are not familiar with the Chobo Team League, the Chobo Team League is a league for players from anywhere between Bronze and Diamond to help improve their play in a fun team environment. We have games for people of every skill level every week. In fact, every team is required to field players of varying skill levels, as each match is limited to players of a specific skill level. You can always play in a higher league if you want to. Never in a lower, though. Except that, you know, if you gain a promotion during a given week, you can still play in what you were last week. So, you know, if you're currently silver and you get your gold league promotion, it doesn't screw up your game that week. Also, that said, at a there is no actually dedicated bronze match, the bronze match being listed as bronze/silver. As most players interested enough to play in a team league will probably get out of bronze pretty quickly, especially if they start practicing with their team. So, looks like we're going to see a 2 racks out of Chancey, very similar to the one we saw last game with Hantipen. This 2 racks, however, is not going to get scouted nearly as early. In a pretty nice location. Those Overlords heading across the map for Phoenix just aren't going to see this 2 racks. No gas down yet for either player, but luckily for Phoenix, he is going pool first, and he does actually have that gas just finished up. So he will have at least some tools to be able to defend this, but it looks like this is going to go completely unscouted. He's now getting down his natural hatchery. In the meantime, Chancey has pretty much nothing at home, being completely dedicated to his 2 racks. He has not yet stopped SCV production, although as I say that, we see he does stop SCV production. Opting for more Marines rather than more SCVs, and the first Marines and these SCVs are heading over. SCV's obviously going to build some bunkers to protect those Marines as they start working on this natural hatchery. Now, Phoenix does not yet have any way to defend this. He does have Zergling speed on the way, but he doesn't even have any Zerglings on the way, let alone out. Currently, having spent much of his money making a ton of Overlords rather than making units. One SCV goes down to the Queen, but the second SCV able to continue building his racks on the high ground to go along with the racks on the low ground. That hatchery does complete, so there's not going to be any cancel here for Phoenix, as the first few Zerglings do finally come out for Phoenix, but they probably aren't going to be enough. We've got 2 Marines on the low ground in this bunker and 3 on the high ground. Now this SCV trying to repair this bunker takes some damage, but between this SCV repairing it and the bunker itself, looks like he's going to take down on the spawning pool if these Zerglings can't take down this bunker now. It looks like the Zerglings are trying to work on the bunker rather than the SCV. Not necessarily the best of choices. The SCV's repairs continue to outpace the Zergling's ability to attack it. Really should have attacked the SCV there, Phoenix, if you watch this one. Anyway, so this bunker was a little bit far away from this hatch. The Marines in it can't hit the hatchery, but with all these Marines coming down from Chancey, it's only a matter of time before this goes down. Zerglings now do have speed, but there just aren't enough Zerglings and too many Marines. We do have a Spine Crawler being morphed in, but being morphed in too close to that bunker, it goes down immediately. Now this Marine ain't almost going down, but the spawning pool has now been taken out. So we see the Spine Crawler is going to be the last Spine Crawler he's able to build until he gets another spawning pool. He has absolutely no way to build any units. No Queens, no Zerglings. Chancey with a little bit of BM there. If you watch this, Chancey, that was a little bit BM. You should just keep playing the game until the player does leave. However, your assessment is correct. At this point, there's absolutely no way that Phoenix can deal with Chancey's attacks, because he can't even build units. Yeah, even though Chancey's on my team, I'm kind of with Phoenix on that comment there, mostly about the BM rather than the cheese. Because if you build cheese, that's a part of the game. But that was a little bit BM out of Chancey, so please, you're my teammate, man. Even if you have one, that was BM. Anyway,